Right, shalom, shalom. Like to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ba'ashem, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to these brothers teaching the truth, the sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. All right, back once again, preach the word of the Heavenly Father to bring out the scriptures, you know, unbeknownst to these people walking about that the end is near. Okay, that's what Yahweh Shai had ordained certain men to come out here and do. All right, on the highways and byways. Grab this. Let's start it from here. It's Jeremiah 28:8. It says, "The prophets that have been before me, before thee of old, prophesied, prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence." All right. So that's what we come out here on the highways and byways to do. Come out here to tell the people what's about to go down, namely the people on the sign, Negroes, Latinos, and Native American, which are the true biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Okay, come out here to do, you know, a service for the elect of the nation of Israel only. All right, it's not for anybody else. Okay, those are the only people that's going to be redeemed in the time of Jacob's trouble. All right, and out of the time of sad calamities that's getting ready to happen. All right, and I named it technologies ease downfall. All right, because in this in Esau's mind, let me get a couple of scriptures. All right, he's trying to rewind back the time to where uh, things were going in this way. Okay, and it's madness. All right, when you look at the get a couple of scriptures, and I'm gonna get this thing called the Big Bill. All right. It's all a setup. It's a setup to get back to the New World Order. All right. Which is an idea that they have since the inception of this place. All right. Let me get this. Psalms 2. It says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Right? It says, kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. Right? So they're trying to get into that position, to stay in that position, right? Get back to that position. Because we know that the Lord has broke the staff of their wickedness, okay? And that includes their witchcraft. So what's happening now on the face of the planet is uh, hundreds of thousands of people are waking up to what Esau is putting down, okay? The BS he's throwing all over the place, all right? And it's not going to be a mystery any longer. It's going to keep on continuing and continuing to the point of where everybody comes against this devil, right? So that big beautiful bill. Let's get back to that. Let me grab this one too. Thought. It's Psalm 49:11. It says, "Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names." Right? So they're going to keep on going in this manner because they want to keep their little society alive. But we can tell that it's the end. And I'm talking about the men of the Lord, all right? The Israelites. We can tell that this is the end because of how their society is flailing about. Okay, the government is flailing about. All right, it's nothing that anybody can do to save this place. It's Jeremiah 51 and 1. We just been circumspect. I gotta be careful out here. Bring out the big beautiful bill that they think that's going to help them, but it's only going to lead them to their end. It's Jeremiah 51 and 9. It says, "We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for judgment reaches onto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies." Right? So this is definite proof, okay, that this is the end of their kingdom. Right? You got that $1 trillion deficit looming. All right. You got famine on the way in some type of aspect. Okay, because there's trucking guys around this piece. That's it for this place, man. Right? No more goods being delivered. Let me read that beautiful bill. It says, do a little bit of reading. What does the big beautiful bill consist of? It says the one big beautiful bill is a broad legislative package that combines tax breaks, spending cuts, border security measures, and other properties. Key components including making the 2017 Tax Cuts and Job Act permanent, eliminating taxes on tips and overtime, and increasing the state and local tax reduction. The bill also includes measures to strengthen border security, potentially raise raises for ICE and Border Patrol agents, funding for the Golden Dome. Right? So there's two things that's happening here. All right. They're gonna break the middle class altogether with these tax cuts and these free incentives of you know that but a lot of these places what they're gonna do is cut overtime altogether. Then you won't be able to get overtime if there's no taxes on overtime. Right? Somebody has to pay that. They probably want to make the corporation pay it. All right. So what they're gonna do is put an end to the middle class altogether. All right. And then you got these businesses that's gonna loom underneath that as well. And that could break them also. Okay. So it's not looking pretty. But going back to the security measures that they want to put in place, all right, this is all plans for the NWO, the New World Order, all right? But we know initially they was talking about building a wall. Well, the wall is not a physical thing anymore. All right, the wall is going to consist of, all right, these devices. All right, MOTB. I'm talking about border security. The MOTB is going to be one thing that they use for border security. All right. Then you got these drones or these autonomous objects that's going to be also watching the the border. All right. So you got all this happening underneath this beautiful bill. All right. Like I said, these technologies is going to bring them down. It's going to be a downfall. Okay. But the more he's trying to, and I'll probably get it. I'll get it. You know what happened to King David for counting the people. All right, and this is what he does every I don't know, every 5 years or maybe every 3 years or something like that. Let me check that. See what it says. Every 10 years. So every 10 years the census happens in Babylon the Great. Okay, so with that what is it? With the big beautiful bill and the border security. All right, that's just like the census happening. All right, they're tracking the movement of people from abroad into this country. Okay, so that's not going to end well when it comes to the odds of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. All right, he's the only omnipotent one. All right, the one that knows all things. Once you put yourself or try to put yourself in a position of doing what he does, then lashing is coming for you, and that's what's coming towards E. All right, so that border security is just going to be like a virtual wall, right? That has everything to do with the new technology that he's going to be running. Okay, I'm talking about in the way of these security cameras. Right, that's one thing that he's going to be doing too. Right? His security cameras are going to be facial recognition. What's that other camera that they have? Uh, they could tell how a man walks, and then they could track that one man by how he walks, and that's also scriptural. You know, that a man shall be known by his gait. All right. But Esau is trying to do the ultimate, man. He's trying to know every man by his gait, okay, and by facial recognition, so on and so forth. So yeah, man, it's going down, man. You know, it's just one or two pieces that have to move for this society to really be in full swing of a downfall. It's already there, but for this thing to be like on the front, in your face, all right. And another thing is the banking collapse. When that banking collapse hits, that's another way that they're going to try to do, you know, implement their system as well. All right, let's get this. Something's coming, man, and he's steadily putting it in place right in front of people's faces, and they can't put it together, man. But you know, the men of the Lord out here on the highways and byways, we see what is doing, what's about to happen. Right? This is Ecclesiastes 12. Ecclesiastes 12. It says, "Remember now it's created in the day of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when they shall say, I have no pleasure in them, right? So the day is not upon us where people won't want to be alive again, but it's coming. Okay? It says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars do not darken, nor the clouds return after the rain. The days when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong man shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. Those that look out of the windows be darkened. Right? So that's happening. Right? 160,000 women, okay, which are Jake, all right, got laid off, man, in the last 2 months. Okay, people that work for what's that? UPS, I think they got laid off as well. You know? I think it's 70,000. They started with a fresh 20,000, right? Men laid off. There more cuts is coming, man. You know, I work in hospitality. Food costs go up one more again. You know, my job is at a loss. You know, and rightfully so. This is the time where you're going to start to lose things: your houses, your cars. Okay, all way of comfortability. I'll say that. Right. And the only one that's going to be able to deliver that comfortability to you is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So the windows being darkened is everybody's losing. Okay. No future. Nobody knows what to do. Okay. And we already hit. All right. Because if you look out how things are panning out, you know, you got these little TikToks and everything, so on and so forth, that keep on rearing their heads up, and it's showing that it's showing that many is people at their last end, so to speak. Okay. Verse 4, it says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of Judah shall be brought low. So when you stand at downtown, you know, you can see that a very high amount of businesses are out of business. Storefronts are empty. You know that the office buildings are empty. Looking at one whole office building right in front of me. You know, and that used to be a hustle and bustle building right there. Nothing going on in there now. Looking at the windows, no lights on, anything. You know? So that's what it means when it says the windows be darkened. All right, no business going on, nothing profitable happening here. Babylon the Great any longer. Okay, and the grinding is slow. Can we find a job that fast? You know, so they putting you in the predicament, right? Predicament to lose all things, right? To the point where you're gonna have to rely on them, all right? When you rely on these people, they're gonna ask you to come to them, okay, and receive the chip so you can be on the grid, so to speak. Right? You pay your bills, your food, so on and so forth. That's what this is about. Right? Starting people up. Well, let me grab this one. Start from PES 3 to 1. It says, to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Right? And Babylon's great purpose is up, man. 250 years. It's the amount of time that a kingdom resides. All right. That time is finished. Okay. So since it's finished, it's getting ready to be upgraded. Okay. It's getting ready to be torn down, just like the scripture states. Verse 2, it said, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. Right? The Lord planted this verse, so He brought to it. Okay? He gave Esau the power to do what he did. All right. So this would be the worst rulership in all mankind. And then at the end, what's going to happen is the greatest put down of all time. Right? And it's on its way, man. Okay. It's not going to let up. It's going to keep going. All right. Tourists. It's not even to look at it. America's the oldest country in the world with no new technology, no nothing. All the buildings all look alike, everything. This place is not fascinating. I would not waste my money to come visit this place. Oh shit. Going on. But we talking about this place being fucked up. Right. Let's go to Isaiah 19. For the real men of the Lord, the only thing we worry about, man, is the ending of this fucking place, man. Okay? And how we know that we're the people of the Lord and how this place is going to go out. All right? All that other in between bullshit is not relevant. Okay? Unless you are defending the gospel per se or whatever the case may be. But other than that, we ain't worried about that other developing a community, building up shit. We ain't into that. Okay? Grab this in Isaiah 19. It says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, which is this place right here. This is synonymous with Egypt because of the bondage, slavery that we got to continue in. Okay? It says, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Yeah, so that's what's getting ready to happen here. All right. All these people that's unhappy, mostly Edomites, all right, with how this current government is going, formulated, they're going to fight against one another. And these people on the sign, we're going to sit back and laugh and watch them, okay? Because this is their country. They deemed us 3/4 of the men, right? Trump is ruling this fucking place for these people, and we can't wait for it to be destroyed. Okay, y'all can walk around with y'all little smirks on and all that, but when the guns come out, man, it's going to be against our own people, man. Y'all gonna want to attack the government. Y'all gonna want to attack the neighbor Bob down the street for liking Biden. Okay, so it's gonna just be strictly for y'all, man. Y'all gonna fight each other. It ain't we want to have a dime in the map. Okay, it says, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards." We already know that they do that. They do seances, they do all the above in the White House. All right. White House, up in these, what's that, the Capitol building. They have all these things going on at one time, man. Drinking adrenochrome, okay, trying to keep themselves alive more longer, putting body parts from kidnapped jakes in their body. Look at that case with Sean Diddy Combs. You know, you had DJ Trump who say that, he would pardon Sean Diddy Combs. Why do you think he's gonna do that? Because he know Diddy Combs will spill the beans, man. You know, of what they do over there in these Epstein Islands. Not just Epstein, but at their own cribs, at their own houses. Diddy Combs had a whole. They found a whole underground Tunnel system.
yeah tunnel system with a bunch of, they say, baby oil and shit. But you know the type of freak stuff that was going on down there. You know, and that's an Edomite thing, man. You know, but if you want to be part of that black boule, you want to be friends of the captors, you have to do what the captors do. In order to be accepted, you got to do what they do. You know, so that's why this dude DJ Trump said basically, yeah, he'll pardon Sean Diddy. Because if Diddy falls, just like Epstein, we see when Epstein fell, they found him hung. They hung that nigga, man. They hung him because he was gonna spill the beans.
I still think
You know,
it's like these things that these men get in trouble for. They're not in trouble like other men,
yeah,
right? So they say Epstein's dead, but the jury's still out on that. You know what I'm saying? I think they just erased him, like that movie Eraser, and they put him somewhere else. That body that we seen wasn't even him. But
yeah.
that's what they do.
Could
All
be
right.
the case, but
Yeah. They move
they,
people around a lot, just like they do these
the popes,
the popes and shit like that,
yeah,
man. And this place is ran on pedophilia.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, con,
The book, they say they got the book, but we ain't never seen a name out of the book. We ain't seen shit out of the book.
yeah,
All right. So, with people being dead or alive, I just know that if you
yeah.
are pedo here in Babylon the Great, you get a slap on the wrist, you get a fucking ankle bracelet, and then you on your way. You can do whatever you want to.
But the scriptures do say this, though. The scriptures say that the Lord's gonna cause their own tongues to fall upon themselves.
Yeah.
So they're gonna tell on each other. Esau's gonna tell on each other, and everybody's gonna see the wickedness of Esau, because that's wicked, man. For you to grab children, 9, 8 year olds, and do your witchcraft is wicked. That's wicked. The scriptures say, thou shalt not let a witch live, allow a witch to live, right? You're not supposed to be grabbing up little boys. That's homosexuality as well, right? So these devils in these hierarchies, they all do that, and now the world is seeing that because the Lord is exposing them. He said, the scriptures say that He's going to lift up the skirt of Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, right? The reason why this is Babylon the Great, number one, is because this is the land of confusion. This is the land of uttermost wickedness, man, where everybody else in the world imitates after America, right? The things that are shone upon up over there in these other nations, right? Now they're looked as great because of America.
Yeah.
And if the other nations don't follow suit, right? America will intervene. America will say, "Oh, human rights violation, this, that, and the third, and that and the third, man." They gotta bow themselves to the image, man, the system, the beast system, man. So all those prophecies concerning, the beast, the system, You know that if you don't worship the image of the beast, all those prophecies are in play today, man.
That's right.
They're all in play. You know, and we'll get in them.
Yeah, this
You know,
Habakkuk 2:15.
con.
It says, "Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink,
Yeah,
that putteth the bottle to him,
yeah.
and maketh him drunken. Also that thou mayest look on their naked."
And that's what America does, man. America is responsible for the state of the whole world. All right, for the chaos that's happening in the world, man.
Yeah, they call this the seed of Satan
Yeah,
for a reason.
yeah,
And something else was proven. With Kamala Harris when she walked ass over the head to not walk, but she flew over there to Africa, right? I think it was some part of South Africa, and she
yeah,
brought a checkbook with her,
yeah,
and she said that those people had you know, that human rights perceived, and that gays had,
yeah,
a right in their country.
yeah. But the president wasn't having it.
Yeah, that president said you
Get the
might
fuck
well
out of
rip
here.
up that fucking check.
Yeah,
We
get
don't
the
want
fuck
that.
out of here. Yeah. Yeah. You had this other African president. I think it was, I don't know if it was Malou. There was this dude, one of these American rappers was going to go over there to host a concert. And he was like, "Nah, man, get the shit out of here, man." Because they know how does the rest of the people get manipulated? It's through the music.
Yeah.
It's through the enchantments. You see, if you go back to the scriptures, you know that music plays is a heavy spiritual thing, man.
Yeah.
Even King David, you know,
Played the heart.
he played the harp and he sang songs to expel demons from King Saul, right? Because music, the vibration that it sends out, is a strong what's that word? Spiritual stuff.
The
Music,
frequency.
the frequencies, man. Music is a spiritual, man. You know that whenever you speak, that's a spiritual. Even speaking is a spiritual thing. The Lord even said it. You know, He said, "Ask of me, and I will give you." The words that He speaks are they are the spirit and they are life.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, also the scripture that says, "For every word uttered from your tongue," right? Because when you speak, man, you that's why, man, you gotta be careful when
What
you
you
talk,
say.
man. You know how you talk to people, what you say to people, right? Because those are spiritual vibrations that you're sending out, man. That's part of your spirit. That's your spirit. Whenever you talking, man, you know, you got guys that don't understand this, and whenever they start talking to somebody, and you don't get nothing accomplished. You don't get shit accomplished. The whole purpose of communication is so the other person can understand you, right? So you don't get nothing accomplished. If you're talking to somebody and you start rolling up and go acting all crazy, how can anybody be understood, man?
Well,
So
nobody's gonna listen.
yeah,
At that
nobody's
point.
gonna listen. Nobody's gonna listen. You don't get shit accomplished. That's not how you speak, man. That's why even Apostle Paul said, "I became all things to all men." Why did he say that? He said to the barbarians, "I became a barbarian."
Yeah, it's
He
ways.
said,
It's different ways to talk to different people.
"Gone,
You know what I'm saying? You have to be condescending with a weak-minded
Yep,
person.
yep,
To a stiff-hearted person, you have to be
yep, yep,
brutal with
yep,
the words that you choose, so it can go into their load.
yep.
You know.
And especially, yeah, especially when you speak to men that are doing the work of the Lord. You got to be careful, man. You know, and especially men that are older than you, wiser than you. You got to be careful how you speak, man. Be careful, man, because at the end of the day, you don't know who's really a man of the Lord. Many are called, but few are chosen, right? So but the scriptures do say, or if you hurt one of these little sheep, if you do so anything to one of these little sheep, you're in danger of the hellfire, right? If you talk to your brother a certain way, you're in hell of the if you call your brother Rakah, which means stupid, right? Even then you're in danger of the hellfire, right? So you gotta see, this is the thing, man. When you're growing up, as a man of the Lord, right? As a so-called man of the Lord, right? These are all things that you obtain with age as you get older. You see, you obtain that with age. You learn how to talk to others. You learn how to speak to others. You know, you learn to hold your spirit, calm yourself down, understand when somebody has a spiritual a one above you spiritually, man. You know, You have to understand these things. And it's evident that if you don't understand these things, you still got a lot of growing up to do in the spirit, man. You got a lot of growing up to do in the spirit, man. You know, you don't just go and you talk to, brothers a certain way, you know, whether it be over the phone, or it be in person, or it be, you know, you have to understand these things, man. And the other part is, man, that it doesn't matter what you tell a person, you can't remove the spirit from that person. We don't have that power. That power belongs to you. See, the scriptures say Apollo watered, but the Most High gave the increase. We don't have the power. I can't go and tell this brother something and make this brother not come out. I can't do that, man. You know, there's nothing that I could be mad at this brother all day long, call him all kinds of shit, right? But that brother's still gonna keep going out if that's the will of the Lord, man. You know, so all these things of getting offended, by what people tell you, and that's not a thing of a man that has the spirit, man. I honestly, you know, that's not a thing. That what did Paul? Remind me that scripture that say, for I know that nothing in this world can separate me from the love of the Lord. Why did the apostle say that? You have to ask yourself, why did he say that, right? Why did he say that? You know, there shouldn't be nothing that can deter you, right? And the other thing, if you're holding grudges against brothers, man, the scriptures give you clear instructions on what to do about that, right? If you're holding grudges against brothers, right? But I want to get this first because it's important. But the best teacher, man, is life, time. That's the best teacher. You know why? Because with time, you're gonna learn all things. The Lord's gonna teach you what He's gonna teach you over time, right? It's obvious that a baby is not born knowing, right? He needs time to mature. He starts as a baby. He crawls, grows up, right? Becomes 10 years, 12 years old. He becomes a man and above, right? So time teaches you shit, man. And Salakia, bro. And if you haven't learned shit, you've been in this thing for what 7, 8 years, and you still don't know how to crawl, man. What do we call a baby that at 1, 2 years old can't Salakia, 5 years old can't speak? He's a retard.
Yeah, imminent.
Yeah, he's backwards. He's retarded, right? Something wrong with him, right?
Yeah.
So if you're in the same thing in the truth, man. If you're in the truth for 7, 8 years, right, and you don't know how to talk to brothers, you don't know how to hold your spirit, you don't know how to communicate what you feel. You start making assumptions of shit. There's some holding you back from developing spiritually, man. I'm gonna say straight up, man. I'm gonna say straight up. And the words I'm saying are right, man. You know the words I'm saying are right. These are words of wisdom through the spirit and power. How about Shemel Shai, man? All right. But go ahead, give me that, bro.
Yeah.
Romans
8:35, it says, "Who shall separate us from the love of our Shai? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine?"
Right. What's persecution? Persecution is another person signaling you out, talking stuff about you, saying this about you, and you might feel a certain type of way, right? But it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant because why? Because there's nothing anybody can tell you to deter you from the love of the Lord. If you get kicked out of a camp, so fucking what, man? So fucking what? This ain't about men. This ain't about men, man. This is about Yahweh Shai, man, and your love for Yahweh Shai, man. Stop with the victim mentality shit, man. That ain't gonna get you nowhere. That victim mentality, they're spoken to me a certain way. I feel certain this, that. Stop with that bullshit, man. That shit, the Lord has nothing to do with no. The Lord didn't say, what did I'm a victim. What did I do to deserve this? They're accusing me. The Pharisees and this, they want to hang me. He kept on. He said, "Lord, let Thy will be done." He kept on going. The Lord didn't give up, or the Lord didn't say, "F you, Yahweh." Curse you, Lord, Father. He said, he said what? He said, "Thy will be done." He said, "If it be possible, Lord, please, pass the cup, but that will be done."
It's all in the mix, man.
Yeah, man. You with this whole victim mentality, man. We gotta grow up, man. We gotta grow up, man. We can't signal any person right? To make an excuse as to why you ain't growing spiritually, man. That's not that shit don't fly.
Or
Go,
just having that chip on your shoulder like that, or grievousness in
yeah,
your heart like that.
yeah,
You know
man,
what I'm saying? So what's going to happen is you're going to stunt your own growth.
yeah,
All right, and possibly that has already occurred.
yeah,
All
and
right,
yeah,
so
and through the spirit, man. If you've seen this, and it hits you and it cuts you, hey, that's the spirit, man. Because at the end of the day, the whole goal of this is to grow spiritually, right? So that you can maintain in this thing. Because if you're not growing, any little snippet can take you out the truth. Any little thing can take you out the truth. Could be a person that talks to you a certain way, and now you get all kind of demons and shit stirred up, and you don't know how to fight these demons because you haven't grown. Next thing you know, tomorrow you be like, fuck this, I'm doing something else. Whatever, I'm doing something else. Oh, look, brothers treating me this way. I'm doing something else.
well, the answer
You know?
the answer pretty much was given in time. Like you said, time is the best teacher.
Yeah, of course.
It's given to you in time, man. But you know what you do? You let that scab get on that wound. Yep. And then when it falls off, it's new skin under it.
Yep.
And guess what?
Yeah.
You didn't stop while that scab was growing over the wound. You see?
Oh,
So any man that's still having a chip on their shoulder for what happened in the past or whatever,
yeah.
bro, you don't have to live that day to day. All right, what you're doing is letting your sins weigh you down, man.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Let them fly, man.
Hey, don't be concerned with.
Hey, I don't got the key. I don't
No,
got the key to heaven in my pocket.
no,
I
nobody
got it. I
does.
got it in the scriptures, but I don't wield that key. I'm not the man that's writing, the names in the book, so to speak.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get out here and do what I can do so my name can be put in the book. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
yeah. And then the other thing is, man. Sometimes what we think we know, we don't know, man. We don't know shit, man. Especially men that have been in this thing way longer than you. We don't know shit. I can't fuck up against the elders and apostles, man. Who the fuck am I? I think now because I got some a little bit of experience. Now I know everything.
But
You know, I can't do same thing with guys that have come in, 3 to 4 years, man. Not for nothing. Me and this brother, we've been now almost 15 years out here, man. You know, that's a little bit over a decade and a half. And the things that I'm saying, they are to be true, right? Because why? Because time and experience has taught us that, man. Now, when I talk to people, even though somebody is speaking loudly than I am, even people when they come, and that's not to boast. That's the water Yahweh Shai that gave me the spirit to learn and understand these things. I know now not to get louder than somebody else to basically over condescend them because I won't get any point across. Nobody will understand me, right? And also, it's not logical. You have to understand reasoning and logic, right? As somebody that's growing up, these are things that need to be intertwined, reasoning and logic, okay? Right? We can't be number one. You can't let your in this thing, man. When you're in war, right? Say this: if you're a soldier and you let your emotions kick in, or you hesitate, guess what? You're dead. You're dead. You're out of here, right? Same thing here, man. This is spiritual, highly spiritual warfare we're fighting here, man. And we cannot hesitate. Let our emotions play in. How this brother said this. I've been, a long time ago. I've been holding this a while, and that, and da 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 da. Because it gets you dead, man. It gets you nowhere, nowhere. And I gotta reemphasize that fact of what we were reading here. Uh, if you could finish that, Baba Shah, we're gonna get to the scriptures, uh, where the Apostle Paul said nothing can separate him from the love of the Lord. Nothing, And again, man, if you're a true man of the Lord, you're gonna go out until kingdom come. Basically, there's no escaping. This is your. Why did the apostle say we're prisoners of Yahweh Shai, man? Why? Because you're gonna keep coming out here, all right, until the chariots come or you're dead on the ground, man. It's just that there is no other escape in this prison. That's it. Whether I want it or not, he said, "What? Woe is me if I don't continue to do the work." Right? I gotta keep coming out in season and out of season. Not oh it got cold, not it got no, man. My priorities is to come out to the highways and byways, right, every week as long as I breathe, man. Go ahead.
This is we start from the top again.
Yeah, man.
It's Romans 8:35.
Go ahead.
It says, "Who shall separate us from the love of
Right.
Yahweh?
Right.
Shall tribulation or distress,
Right.
persecution or
Right.
famine,
Mhm.
or nakedness or peril or
Right.
sword?
Yep.
As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter."
Yep.
Right? Because people think we because we out here doing
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Man, we
Yeah.
building ourselves.
Yep.
All right. It says, "Nay, in all these things were we are more than conquerors through him that love us."
Yeah. And
Well,
that,
yeah, go ahead.
and that's the goal, man, to be a conqueror.
Yeah.
To conquer the spiritual battle. You know, that like what is let me see, I think that's Hebrews that says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities in high places." Right?
Yeah.
That's what the scriptures say, right? So the battle ain't against a particular person. The battle ain't against flesh.
It's against you.
It's against yourself.
Yeah.
The mind, because your spirit, it's up here.
It's in the house.
Yeah, that's the house of the spirit.
Yeah.
And that's where the demons creep in. Every morning you wake up, you look at yourself in the mirror. Ah, yeah, but that brother said something about me. You know, oh yeah, I met this dude in the street and he gave me a new idea, a new perspective of something that I could do. You know, I could build this and I could make, I could go make this company and do this and that and the third. And it starts rhyming, and then, and you're like, shit,
It
man.
sounded like a song.
Yeah, and it
But it
sounds
ain't
like a
this
song, you know,
But it ain't this
and next thing you know, some men fall. Some men fall, or you got locked up and you're confined to four walls, and now, you're like, yeah, I think there's a different perspective. You read one scripture 5 times, and like, whoa, it sounds different now. Hold on, let me look into this book to confirm this and that. And they go in the whole damn rabbit, and that's all demons that are plaguing you, man.
Yeah,
That's all
punching you
demons.
up, man.
Yep, they're busting you up. Yep, that's all demons that are, you know. But you got to put up that armor.
Yeah.
You got to put up that armor. And, oh, hold on. The
Wait a minute.
scriptures say
Yeah.
the scriptures say that the writing of many books there's no end. Hold on, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I don't gotta go into this book of Enoch or into this shit or into that shit.
Sometimes
On this and the book of the dead or Quran and this, because the scriptures tell me not to do that. The scriptures say the writing of many books there's no end, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
None shall want her mate, right? We know these scriptures, right?
Yeah.
Because what is the armor? Put on the armor of faith is the word of the Lord, the scriptures.
Yeah.
There's an answer for just like we always say, there's an app for everything.
Yeah.
There's a scripture for everything.
That's right.
That's how it works, man. That's how it absolutely works, man. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, just sit down and think about it. Go into the scriptures and look up what I'm telling you. You're gonna see it. It's there.
Yeah.
It's there.
If you get weary of the mind, then that just means you need to sit your ass down and go to sleep, man. And come back on another day.
But that's again
Yeah.
going into what I just said earlier. You gotta let time be your teacher, number one,
Yeah.
right? Along with the spirit, because it's with time that a baby gets knowledge. That's gonna be your best teacher. Time can either make you better or destroy you. You look at a bitch that was beautiful in her 20s, right? Go check her out in her 40s,
Oh man,
right?
the wall finds them wrong.
Hey, nature took its course, right?
Yeah, man.
Same like the analogy of the baby. If a baby ain't speaking by 5, 6 years old, he's retarded. He's retarded. You see what I'm saying? Because a baby's supposed to be meeting those milestones.
Yeah.
By 5, 6 years old. It's supposed to be talking
He was
clear.
already supposed to be making noise when he was a baby.
Yeah.
You know?
If a baby can't. All that shit, man. Like, if a baby is still crawling at 5 years old, he's retarded. Likewise, if you're a man, if you've been coming out for 9, 10 years, and you don't know these basic things, man, on how to condescend to people, talk to people, how to move around people, how to, be wise as serpents, harmless as doves. This basic stuff, man. Yeah, something wrong, something going on. You got something, bro?
Yeah, I got you. Finish the rest of this.
On.
It says, "For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creatures shall be able to separate us from the love of Yahweh, which is in Yahweh Shai, our Lord."
And what is the love that you have for Yahweh? What did the Lord say? If you love me, you do what?
Do my commandments.
Well, he said you'll feed my sheep.
See, that too.
He said you feed my sheep. You know, and they go right along. The
They go,
commandments and the sheep.
sheep. Yeah.
What is feeding the sheep? Coming out to the highways and byways, man.
Yeah. And this is love, that you
That's
follow
love.
my commandments.
That you follow my commandments.
Yeah.
So he gave you the definition of love, but he also gave you, he told you what
The
it was,
attributes
right? And he told you what it was to your to prove that you
to
love the Lord.
fulfill it. To
Yeah,
fulfill
to
it.
prove.
Yeah.
Because you can't. What the Lord said, the Lord said, these people worship me out of their mouth, but their hearts is far away from me.
Yeah.
Because they say one thing, but their actions don't prove what they're saying. The way you show your actions prove what you mean is by what? By doing the things that He told you to do.
I mean, staying continuing in prophecy.
Yeah,
Like scriptures say.
yeah, man. And
All right.
and
We was also commanded to come out here on the highways and byways. That's another thing, you know. So it's things that lead up to that, you know. But the real testament is you doing the work for the coming of the kingdom of heaven. That's what you're really supposed to be doing. Damn everything else. Like before you got out the car, man, we don't care about any of that little bullshit, man. Defending the gospel, letting the word be known to the people on this sign, building up the people that's on this sign, the hopeful elect of these people. 2/3 can vote. I don't know, whatever the fuck they want to do, man. All right, that's our job, man. It's not to become a fucking soap opera.
yeah,
All right, you niggas with that effeminate spirit on you like that, man. This is
yeah,
not the thing to do.
yeah,
All right, we're men. Let's deal in manly things. And this doing this work, what did the Lord Himself say? He said, "I'm about my Father's business." Right. So that's what we're gonna keep it just like that. Keep it pushing, man.
yeah. That's right. Keep it pushing. That's it.
All right.
That's the right word, man. Keep it pushing. Stop worrying about other men.
I ain't got time
Leave that for the Lord.
Yeah, man.
Leave that for the Lord. It ain't your job to be uh constantly getting on somebody else's ass, man. That ain't your job. That's the job of the Lord. Because the Lord said,
You do it because it says that we gotta
defend the gospel.
go,
If you have a dude that's talking shit about the scriptures and bringing up a different doctrine, that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about making it your
I-
life priority
get it.
to,
Yeah.
to believe that let me make videos on public on correction because this dude he's smoking pot or doing this. The
Hey.
scriptures tell you that if this thing be of men, it will come to naught. If this thing be of men, they will just fade out. And we see it happening. Now we got men that used to be part of GMS Boston. They ain't even talking about the name anymore. You know, they ain't even and we didn't have to say a goddamn thing about what they were saying, the wicked shit they were saying. Because the Lord did it easy and smoothly and speedily, man. You know, they ain't out there doing the work. They seasonal niggas now, man.
Yeah.
And we didn't have to say shit, right? It ain't about you, man. Now we will defend the gospel. This whole new covenant bullshit, this whole false doctrines and narratives. Yeah, we all day long we're gonna keep coming out saying, you had what's this other nigga name uh um shit, man, what's that nigga name Elder Manatazakba did a show on them too that I just seen recently from the one X in your house shot something like that.
What's his name?
Talking about we don't gotta come out and teach
What the
and
fuck
teach
is
the
that?
name because it's only the period or some once or some crazy shit, you know.
Them guys are gone, man. They got paid
Yeah.
off, man.
Yeah,
Because in a year's time, man, or 2 years' time, they stopped saying the name of the Lord. And
yeah,
they went right back into what?
bomb,
Yeah, right back into bombing, man.
bomb. But that's the point. That's the point. The point is, man, it ain't our job, to correct the whole world. Personally shit on personal shit. It's our job to correct the gospel because guess what? If there's if there's an elect man of the Lord and they're listening to the wrong shit, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem. They gotta hear the right words, man. They gotta hear the truth. 2 plus 2 is 4. That's the truth. Somebody else talking about 2 plus 2 is 5. You gotta say something.
Yeah, man.
You gotta say something. But the Lord is gonna take care, of niggas that are not sincere, doing wickedness on purpose. You know, on purpose. The Lord's gonna take care of that.
Yeah.
It ain't our job. Why you gotta hold it on you to just stop it with this bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Stop it with this bullshit.
I'm not
We know, we
involved in
know,
the
we
soap
know the
opera.
scriptures. We know what the scriptures
Yeah.
say, man. And and if you're a true man of the Lord, like I said, you're gonna keep coming out regardless of what anybody says, because you have hope.
Yeah.
You have, that's what's called faith. Faith is the believing things that you have not seen. The evidence is the substance of what you have not seen. That's faith. So you're gonna keep coming out. But when you're not about that, when you don't have faith, you believe in some other shit, you're gonna be a seasonal temporary nigga. You're just gonna come out whenever it suits you and convenes you and then be gone. That's usually the course of nature. That's how things work,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly. And we see it. Like you said, we
Yeah.
seen it.
Yeah.
It's no marvel to us, man.
We're
That's why
seeing it right now.
we can just go ahead and just do the work, man.
Yeah, man. We're seeing it right now, man. But the spirit had it that I had to come out and say this, because you got guys out there that they don't get it. They don't get it. You know, and truth be told, you have to defend. You have to defend the gospel, but you also have to give a message of education, basically. You got to educate people on these matters. How to watch your tongue, how to talk to people, how to do all these basic things that are just really not basic, but they are. They are, because at the end of the day, you're in the business of uplifting brothers too, man.
Yeah.
You got to iron sharpen iron. You got all these scriptures all come into play. They all come into play. And how you gonna sharpen your brother if all you're doing is, you don't even know how to talk to your brother, or you ain't doing right by uh, uh, you know
Many a time.
offending offending your brother, man.
Well, when you get demons on you, that's all the only thing they're gonna let you do.
Yeah,
It's just offend people, man.
yeah,
This is Matthew 18 or 16.
yeah.
It says, but if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of two or three witnesses every word may be established. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican. Okay, so that's why we're not going to keep on browbeating certain things over and over again. We already set our piece. You know how we rolling with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the end of it, man. You can go teach whatever you want to teach, or you can teach what's right. You know, sing the song of Moses. All right, out in the marketplaces. All right, that's what we're supposed to be doing, and bidding men onto the marriage. We can't slip with that, man. You know, this is an ongoing thing. Eve's downfall is sharply upon us, man. And you trying to pick up between camps and between other Israelite brothers, and no, man, if you wrong, you dead set. You wrong, man. Now do something about it. Fix it. You know. But we in the midst of downfall of Babylon the Great, man. Okay. You see what's happening. The tape ain't lying. The prophecies popping right off the page. Things are going on over there in that war with Ukraine
Yeah.
and Russia, and you mother suckers want to talk about old shit, man. Stop it, man. Let's preach what was taught, man. All right, if you got the eye salves, see this is what I've been contemplating this whole week, man. It's brothers that's teaching that don't understand eschatology. I think that a lot. Okay, they can't see the prophecies plainly, because that's where the real fear of the Lord come from, man. The things that's getting ready to happen, man. And you reading it off the pages, and it's happening as you're reading. That's fearful, man. The judgment's going to get that for me. Judgment do it go forth. All right. It's 800 pages on Instagram that show men's judgment day in, day out. All right. Maybe you soft, effeminate men, y'all need to watch that shit, man. And get that shit into your brain that the Lord can take your lights out anytime He wants, just for you saying the wrong thing and saying it to the wrong person, and not having a way to say it that's profitable for the ministry.
I got it. Zephaniah 3:5, right?
Yeah.
The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity.
Nope.
Every morning doth he bring his judgment and light. He faileth not, but the unjust showeth no shame.
Yeah. They keep on going in the same fucking way, man. And the Lord don't make mistakes. If he take you out of here, he take you out of here for a reason. It ain't no do-overs when he turn off the lights on you. Okay? That TV light go out on you, man. That's it. End of the episode.
Yeah, man.
We'll catch you in another fucking another show. All right, when you get rebooted and suited to a reincarnation, you know. So please, please, man, if you got the breath in you, teach the coming of the kingdom of heaven, man, by way of the prophecies. Get that to stay occupied in prophecy instead of in BS, man. Nobody want to live in a fucking soap opera. Soap operas suck, man. Only ones that's entertained by that are fucking ladies, women. Okay, we ain't got time to go back with the he said, she said. We ain't got time to make videos on things that's not benefiting the growth of ministry or bringing in the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, Ecclesiasticus 39:1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out of the wisdom of all the ancients and be occupied in prophecies.
Yeah, man. Stop being a fucking, I don't even know what a feminine person, man. Yeah. Only women deal and dabble in that shit, man. Yeah. I just want to know why. I didn't do anything wrong to anybody. And all that bullshit, man.
Yeah, that victim mentality.
Like you said, man, let's go, man. Let's get this shit popping, man. And it's not shit, but just, hey, get your wheel spinning in the right direction, man. You know?
Yeah, man. But if everybody's always gonna think they're right. Everybody thinks they're right. The Muslims think they're right. Are they right? We think we're right. Everybody. But what's gonna tell? Time.
Time is gonna tell.
But when the prophecies come to pass, you'll see what's up.
We already in the right space. Yeah. Right? Whether they think they're right or not, we know we right. Yeah. You know how we know we right? Because the prophecies on that page is happening.
They're speaking.
You can't tell me Ezekiel 38 ain't happening right now.
Yep.
Okay? You can't tell me Jeremiah 50, 51 ain't happening right now. Yep. Isaiah 19 chapter ain't happening. Isaiah the 34th chapter ain't happening now. It's happening.
Yep, that's right.
Okay? The Muslims ain't even got nothing for that.
That's right.
They all on Abraham's children's balls. They all come back to play in the court with them.
Yeah, they're getting their ass handed to them by the Israelis.
And it's getting ready. It's getting ready to go down because the least of them, right, which are the small hatters over there, the 48ers.
Oh yeah, they're stirring up some all kinds.
Oh man, they're ready to go.
They're stirring up all kind of shit right now. Man.
They're ready to go.
They're talking about bombing Iran. Yeah. They're talking about some heavy shit. They gave Iran a week. Trump said, in a week, if Iran don't dismantle the Ukrainian enrichment, they're gonna do it by force. That means they're gonna attack little Iranian enrichment plants.
Yeah, in Persia.
It's gonna be all on, man.
Yeah, man. And the planes are already there. They've been there for a matter of what? As soon as Trump got into office, he moved 7 stealth bombers down to that base that's in the Pacific over there. It's Del Taro, Del something. But those planes are there waiting. And the name is on the tip of my tongue too. It's Del Toro or something like that. But those stealth plane bombers are there waiting, man. He said it was an issue with the Houthis. Okay, it's not the issue with the Houthis. That devil over there in fucking small hat land.
Not a Jew.
Yeah, not a Jew. This dude, he staunchly said that the Houthis are getting payment from Iran to do what they doing.
Yeah, that's Iran's proxy.
Yeah.
Same thing with the other group, the
Hezbollah.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
But they said it was only 1,100 Hezbollah, and they didn't kill the 100,000 Palestinians.
Yeah.
So out of that 100,000, don't you think the 1,100 Hezbollah members are dead?
Right.
No, they're still bombing over there though. See,
And, yeah.
but that's how we know that we got it right. Okay, get that real quick. The least of them should draw them out.
And Ukraine right now, I just read I think they bombed some
Oh
bombers.
yeah, yep. And see, Putin is not he's not the agitator.
What was that?
The least of them. Oh, the least of them. Yeah, block should draw them out. Something's getting ready to shake, man. Something getting ready to shake. And this economy ain't too stable as it is, man. 160,000 women.
I got it.
All right. So things going on. Like I said, the prophecies is speaking, man.
This is Jeremiah 15:45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he had taken against Babylon and his purposes that he had purposed against the land of the Chaldeans.
What's his purposes? His purposes is to destroy this fucking place, man. Okay. We're the land of the Chaldeans. All right. This is another name, aka name, also known as this is Chaldea, the land of Chaldea, because of the witchcraft that was studied here and pushed out.
It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen. All right. This habitation right here is the golden dome. All right. All that madness is getting ready to be set up here. All right. And it's not a missile defense system, that golden dome. It's going to be a system where you can't get in it unless you get chipped, unless you're being tagged all over the place. All right. Get their inoculations that they want you to have put in here. Because the World Health Organization said whenever another health crisis goes down, it's going to be medical martial law for sure. And no state, no government entity is going to be able to cancel that. They're just going to have full control. Okay? Prophecies are popping off the pages, man. Okay? Like I said, get Ezekiel 38. It's all type of proof, man. And then we can go into the missiles. But I just learned from watching the video yesterday, it's really no more ICBMs. All those missiles are going to be low flying missiles now.
This is Ezekiel chapter 38 and 1.
Yeah.
And the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal,
Yep.
and prophesy against them. Yet say, Thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal.
Yep.
And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
Yeah, so that land is going to be in charge of protecting everybody else. All right. Because when you look at the word God, we equate it with Russia today. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a landmass. All right. So now we know it to be as Russia. And guess what, man? He's teaming up with everybody, man. This man is the champion of everything. Yeah. Okay. And like he said, he stopped from being the aggressor with Ukraine. Okay. He's not the aggressor any longer. It's Putin, Zelensky, Pope Boy Zelensky. Go ahead, read some more.
It says, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters.
Yep, and that's Turkey. Okay. Turkey is the number 2 ally in NATO. Okay. And it's coming. When Turkey leaves NATO, man, hey, America can poop on itself, man. America's strong, but it ain't gonna have the willpower to get to go against all these nations ganging up on them at one time. Okay, that's not gonna happen.
It says, And the house of Togama, the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee.
Yep.
Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee,
Yep.
and be thou a guard unto them. After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword. That's going to. You want me to keep going?
No, that's good. Yeah, so that's what's getting ready to happen. All these people are about to gang up on, not people, but all these nations about to gang up on Babylon the Great, man. It's going to be some terrible times, man. But before it even gets there, yeah, before it even gets there, what's going to happen is the downfall of this man's. Like I said, we already got it, man. These other religions, so to speak, they don't have nothing on us. Even plantation Christianity, the only thing they know is John 3:16 and John what's that 17. Okay. It's gonna come to no avail for them, man. All right. This is not what the scriptures was written for. It wasn't written for that. For that all is love thing. So you losing Christians, you losing too. All right, because it's all about prophecy. That's all it's about. And the prophecies are being played out left and right. We can't wait for the downfall of this place. Let's get grab Isaiah 6. Because due to that MOTV coming out, man, and them setting up this grid to track and trace people, and that's what's going to kill Esau. Esau is out of here. All right. Elon Musk get caught with a whole bunch of drugs. He's supposed to be the smartest man alive. Oh, some cocaine, but ketamine. He got a little suitcase that he carry around with him. All types of drugs. And it looks all drugged up. Every single time you see him coked up. Yeah. Fucking eyes rolls around in his head. Can't stand up straight. Yeah. One of the when he gave that Nazi salute, remember that shit? Yeah. He did some bullshit. You know, he looked like he was on drugs, man. He was all crazy and shit. He is on drugs. It's been proven though. That's why they say he can't come back to the White House no matter what. All right. So ultimately, the downfall of this kingdom is hit. You know what scripture I want to get? Break it down strong. But read one up. Second Corinthians 10:4. It says, "For the weapon." You want me to read up? Yeah. Grab the whole- It says, "For the you want me to go from 3 or you can read from 3? Second Corinthians chapter 10:3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds." Yeah. So we use this book, man. We don't use carnality, right? You won't see no men of the Lord talking about let's gather our arms up and go out there on the front line and be rah rah with it. No, that's not how we're gonna deal, man. Reading this, like the brother said earlier, words got a vibration, a frequency on it. Okay, and what you're seeing is this word, this truth is bringing down this kingdom, right? It's not believable what plantation Christianity says anymore. because it's just love today. Everything got to be underneath the guise of love.
Yeah.
All right, and that's exactly how the white man conquered this place. All right, he came with to you, shaking your hand with his right hand, but then with the left, he stabbed you in the back. Okay, and we seen it, man. Okay, this devil don't mean you no good, man. No good. And with them chipping and taking away people child support, not child support, but the food stamps,
Oh yeah.
Section 8. He getting ready to show you, man, what Revelation 12 and 12 really means. Okay, so this turn of events is we need this turn of events, man. Things ain't right no more, man. June. This is fucking what? It feel like it's 40 something degrees
Yeah,
out
it
here.
was like 40 something degrees, bro. It's crazy.
And that's how we know that we on the right page, man. That's how we know that this kingdom is soon out of here, man.
Yeah, man. The world, the earth is deteriorating, man.
There's something going on, man.
Yeah, man. The earth can't keep this shit up any much longer, man. All this pollution and all that shit fucks up the whole
The
you know
ecosystem,
yeah, the air, the everything, man, on the
water,
earth, man. All this the cars that emit the smoke,
CO2.
cigarettes,
Yep.
uh all the things that that are that are natural, man. It's fucking up the earth, man.
That's
You
why.
know,
That's why it says
it's
this.
destroying the earth, man. The earth don't even know what to do anymore, man. It's a living organism. You know, the whole earth. You know, that's why the seasons are all fucked up now. The fruits are all fucked up. The everything's fucked up. That's why this man's got to go, man.
This dude's he done fucked up the earth.
Everything, man. This shit ain't no more the way it used to be, man. Ain't no way in hell supposed to be no 40 degrees in June. Crazy.
This cold out of nowhere.
Yeah, man. It was like a winter day, almost.
All day.
Or a fall day, yeah.
Yeah.
Like not even early fall. This is like late fall. Talking about
Yeah, before the
yeah, this
leaves
is like
come off the tree.
yeah, around end of October, close to November shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
This is Matthew 24 and 22.
Yeah.
And it says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Right? That's how we know that we're doing the right thing. All right? Because the prophecies. Okay? We can feel it. You know? No more John 3:16 get us stuck no more. We're not stuck on this shit. John 17 chapter. We're not stuck with that. You know what I'm saying? So if you continue in preaching these things, these wayward doctrines,
Yeah, like we don't have to teach about Esau anymore.
we do
Uh,
sometimes, but you know, it's
like
far in
like
between.
like we
You
don't
know?
have to. Well, this is gonna drive my point. You
Yeah.
know, the John 3:16. You know, like that's like good edification to know what does John 3:16 mean. Same thing with Esau. It's good edification to understand who your enemy is.
Yeah.
We have to teach, and that's what Elder Manat is talking about. Was going into concerning this dude, unbodying Yahweh Shai. He's talking about we don't have to come out and teach about Esau. We don't have to teach these
Elder Jack,
yeah,
something like
yeah, Japta.
yeah,
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. I can't.
And that dude's a fucking clown.
Yeah, he funny.
He's a clown, dude. You know, it's just like what are you doing, man?
Elder Jethro.
You know, the Lord commanded us to condemn Esau. You know,
Yeah.
before the Lord does anything to any nation, He sends out His prophets to do. Guess what? To tell them to their face what's going to happen to them.
What's going to befall them?
Yeah, and the Edomites ain't no different, man. We're supposed to talk about Esau. The scriptures say, eat the whole roll, man. Eat the whole roll, man. You can't just be talking about one thing, because we touch all bases, man. That's the spirit wills. You know, you gotta say what's gonna happen, and like you mentioned, the brother mentioned John 3:16, like we when we was out in the world, you know, the water Yabashim Yahushai that gave us the understanding of what that means. Because if you read it face value and somebody don't know, they'll be like, see, that's the dagger right there.
Yeah.
You know, this proves the Lord loves the world and everybody in it. You know, when in reality, John was talking about loving
Outside world.
the oikumenic sense. He was talking about the cosmos sense, which is the collection of the stars, which Israel was likened unto the stars of the heavens, which are many. You know, the real Israelites are many, not these small hatters that are over there that are just a few. You know, the real children of Jacob.
Still missing the other 12 tribes.
Yeah,
Or rather the 12.
yeah. We were
All 12.
Yeah, we were multiplied like the sand of the sea, man. Because it was prophesied before. Just Ephraim alone, shit, I overtake them by a mile, man.
And I was just trying to think, you
Yeah.
know, because they always come up when we stop a Khazar right here,
Yeah.
or Amalekite right here. They always say Levi, Levi.
Yeah, they don't even say
They don't
Judah.
say Judah. They don't say Manasseh. They don't say
Because they're the lawgivers.
yeah.
They're the lawgivers. And you know what? They're more concerned with the law. You know why? Because that's how they grip the whole world.
Yeah.
That's how they be like, yeah, by the law, you know, we can treat a person that's not an Israelite as garbage because they're goyim, and that's in the law.
Yeah.
That you know, you can treat a non-Israelite like you can't lie to a brother, but you could lie to a non-Israelite, or that's all in the law.
Yeah.
And that's their excuse to have a grip the way they have on the world.
Where they don't have to treat people a certain
Yeah,
way,
yeah, exactly. So they treat anybody else that's not a Jewish, they treat him as fucking shit.
Yeah.
You know, when in reality they're shit.
Yeah.
They're the scum of the earth.
Yeah.
All right. Because they're not the real Jews, man. They're a bunch of phonies and fakes.
They're getting ready to be found.
You know, they're a bunch of phonies and fakes. All right.
Yeah.
You know,
So in the Inquisition.
That's why they only deal with Levi, because Levi are the lawgivers. You know, and they don't know shit about the law. They make their own laws. They have something called a Talmud.
Yes.
You know,
That's their laws.
That's their own shit. You know, the scriptures don't talk about no Talmud, man. It talks about the Torah.
The Torah.
You got the Tanakh, yeah. You know, but there's no Talmud where it tells you to go circumcise children with your mouth and shit.
That's
And
nasty.
do all kind of wicked and perverse, evil, nasty shit, man.
Yeah, they use the Moya, but it was already documented that a Moya gave a kid fucking herpes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Yeah, man. These devils, they're the devil, man. That's what the devil means deceiver. They deceive the whole world to think that they're the chosen people. They're really not. They're far from it. All right.
Yeah, I got you right here. This is 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. It says, hold on, read up. Yeah, stop for a second. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau, right? For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay?
Yeah, so that's coming up past the Edomites, Esau. The Edomites, Esau is a so-called white man. You know, so-called white man, he's the devil the Bible speaks of.
Yeah.
And he's going into slavery. And he will ultimately be destroyed, annihilated, wiped out, but being such a terrible plague on the earth, basically. You know,
I got you right here.
uh-huh.
It's Isaiah 63. It says, who is this that cometh from Edom with thy garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, I that speaketh in righteousness, mighty to save. So when Yahushua comes up with the chariot, man, all right, he's going to do some damage, man. And blood is not going to be on this man's garment, but it's going to be on those ones that didn't listen to him. All right, it's just a metaphor for him coming down here and mashing up things real well, man. Okay, so he coming with the mashup. He's getting ready to set this place right. It says, Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my remnant. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeeming is come. Right? And we in that small space. Only the elect of the nation of Israel is going to be man. Okay? You fake Christians, okay? You you plantation Christians, y'all wouldn't even know, okay, what's about to befall y'all, man. Because y'all don't want to hear it. But we know that you're the real Israelites because how hard headed you are. That's how we know what's about to happen to you guys. 2/3 of you guys. Okay. The Lord already been stretched out his hand. And it's us. And you keep on refuting, you keep on smacking away his hand, man. It's gonna come down to the fire for you, man. Not the wire, the fire. Okay, the missiles. The missiles gonna touch you up something awful, man. And you're one of all things. This is why you want to grab that. John said, the lust of the eyes and the love of the Father is not in you. But the time of temptation is here, man. And that's going to include you having to deal with being hungry, without being with a house over your head, a roof over your head, so to speak. Okay? Without being, we already counted as dumb, as nothing on when we come out here to the highway and byway. So we can put up with it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of y'all haven't practiced this. Okay, being hungry, being without having no nothing backing you but the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. If you don't know what that is, it's not going to come to you. Okay?
Tell me about it.
Yeah, faith is the real thing, bro.
Fucking we always in the fucking hanging by a thread here.
Yeah, man.
We don't live a life of luxury.
Yeah.
No, we worrying about how we gonna pay the next rent, man. Me personally, I know I can speak for myself, and I know this brother too.
Yeah, me too.
The light bill, light about to get cut.
All the above, man.
We don't boast on this. It's not to say that makes us any better than a brother that has it. All right, but hey, this is sometimes the Lord makes you depend to see if you're gonna really trust on Him.
Yeah.
So I don't worry about my rent because I know that at the end of the day, the Lord always finds some way to help me pay. You know,
Yep.
so but we're always trusting in the Lord, like the brothers going into.
Yep.
Every month, every month without fail, man.
That's what he said to do. He said for us to do that.
Yeah,
That's the only way we're gonna survive, man. The rest of these people, when the rug get pulled from underneath their feet, they're gonna go to the shits, man. They're gonna be doing all type of manner of stupidness and wickedness out of this world, man. Eating their own kids, doing a whole bunch of wickedness, man. Yeah, go ahead.
1 John 2:16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but it's of the world.
Yeah. Yep. That's what it is. It's the lust of the world. Now, this scripture right here in Ecclesiastes 2:1, it says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." Right? So that's the temptation right there. The lust of the world.
The servant not greater than the master.
Yep.
A lot of scriptures that support that, man. A lot of scriptures.
So you got to be on point here, man. This ain't the time to play victim, man. This is the time to play the position that you came back in your lot to do, man.
Right.
That's time to get out here on the highways and byways and let the Lord see you. You just get everything else correct on the test. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
It says, shed yourself with mortal thoughts. That's another thing that you're supposed to be doing. Don't worry about if you're going to live or die or if you're going to make it. That's not for us to do.
That's right.
Just come out here and just preach the word, man. So you can make moves and get out of here.
That's right.
That's it. Right. If it be the Lord's will,
Gone.
Because we can't turn away the fucking missiles from flying. We can't stop the plagues from coming. We can't do any of that. But we can live through it through faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, and that's what the scriptures teach you. Okay, uh, get that real quick, and then that'll be it. Hebrews, what is it? Faithful Abraham. Because E's downfall is through his technology, man. Only thing we can tell you is the MOTB is the RFID microchip. All right. Don't take it, because if you take the MOTB, which is Revelation 13:16, you'll be subjected to Revelation 14. Okay. Read those two uh, books, chapters out of that book.
Galatians 3:9. So then they which be of faith are blessed with faithful Abraham.
Yeah. So you gotta have faith, man, in this thing. All right. But if you don't have that faith, man, the blessings ain't gonna protect you. Okay. Gold might not bring you nothing to eat. You know, cat might not show you where there's a river to drink. In the times when the fountains get cut off here. You don't know, man. And that's why it says for you to be at peace with the beast of the field. Not because you think that they're gonna kill you, but because in the end the Lord might work through them to show you something. Okay? So hey, man, it's up to you, man. But all that victimization stuff, man, nobody got time for that. We ain't women, man. This ain't the Me Too movement. No man did nothing wrong, and we all dealing with different spirits. Okay, and some spirits don't meld with other brothers' spirits, and that's fine. That's all right, bro.
That's fine. We
All right.
know the who was it? Paul and Peter separated, right?
Yeah, not Paul and Peter.
Yes, yeah, kind
Hold
of.
on,
Also John and Peter.
let's get it. The two prophets that separated themselves.
No, it was John and Peter. Because yeah, Peter. No, Paul and Peter. It's Paul and Peter.
Paul.
Yeah,
Yeah, they had that fight.
they had that fight.
Oh, that's what you're talking
Paul
about.
and Peter. That's what I was talking. Yeah, I was right.
Yeah.
Paul and Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went their ways. They had a fight because, one was being a hypocrite.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah.
Peter was acting like, around the circumcision, and then when he was like downing on the uncircumcision.
Yeah.
In a way, and they had that fight.
Well, he was sitting with the uncircumcision.
Right.
Eating.
Yep.
And then when Paul showed up, he jumped away from him like he never even knew him. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Paul was like, why you keep on doing that? You eating with them, just eat with them. Nobody care. And then he was like, oh, nah, you ain't see me eating with them when you see me eating with them. That's just when I walked up.
Well, it was, prophecy
man.
said that Paul was the apostle to the Gentiles.
Yeah.
Peter was the apostle to the circumcision.
So it made, that's the thing that you said. Yeah. Don't think that you gotta know everything that's going on in the background or in the forefront or whatever. That's even word to the wise for us. But the Lord made it that way so different things can happen. See what I'm saying? But just play your part, man. That's it. Like this brother, he made truth. He said the truth. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's throwing you out of getting to the kingdom of heaven. They just don't want you around them trying to get to the kingdom of heaven. That's it. And that's all right, man. A clock is right 2 times a day.
What did the Lord say? When they went to the Lord, they asked the Lord, they said, hey, Lord, you got guys over there teaching your name, whatever, doing. The Lord was like, well, if they're teaching in the name of Yahweh Shai, let them alone.
Let them be. They ain't against us.
Yeah. So that shows you right there, you're out there teaching the right doctrine in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, that you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're doing all you can.
Yeah, man.
And that's all it's applied. That's it.
More
Keep it simple, man. Keep it simple, man.
That's it. KISS.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not much to the work, you know what I'm saying? But you have to study to show yourself approved, learn these breakdowns, and get on with the get on, man. That's it. That's the bottom line. Don't bring up yesterday ever. All right. So with that, you got anything else?
No, that's it, brother.
Hey, so with that, we want to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to you, brothers, teaching in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. Shalom.
Shalom.